You know when you see this cool series, but for some reason you put off watching it. Maybe it is because you were too lazy or was already watching something else. But when you finally watch the series you were gonna watch, you realize how amazing it is and wonder how you could possibly have put it off watching it. That was me with the anime movie Josee the Tiger and the Fish. And let me tell you how happily surprised I was after watching it. Equipped with his passion for diving and admiration for marine biology, university student Tsuneno Suzukawa tries his best to juggle several part-time jobs to earn enough money to study aboard. But one night, in a fateful accident, he meets a girl in a wheelchair, driving his current path into the Tora. The girl Kumiko, who prefers to be called Josee, intentionally come off as rude. Tsuno, however, is then convinced by Josee's grandmother to take on a paid job to be Josee's caretaker. Despite being annoying with her bossy demander, Tsuno sees the opportunity to save more funds to support his academic dream. Nonetheless, after putting up with Josee's behavior for some time, Tsuno tries to quit, only to discover Josee's dreams of traversing the outside world to experience a life free from her crippling condition. Tsuno decides to accompany Josee in exploring the wonders that the world has to offer. Through the time together, the two begin to realize that the traits that bind them together may be vital toward fulfilling their respective aspirations. You could say that the plot is basic in some ways, but how they tackle it is what makes it so great. Josee, who is in a wheelchair, gets treated so differently from everyone only because she is in a wheelchair. Now, why is that? It is because of the lack of sympathy of the people around her. Because of the people who doesn't go the extra mile to help someone who is in need. They don't do it because themselves haven't experienced the pain and the difficulty of being in a wheelchair. But there's one person who is different, who has the sympathy and is willing to go the extra mile to help people around him. And that is of course Tsuno. Now in the beginning he finds her annoying, troublesome and unbearable. But what is it that makes him different from everybody else? It is that he is willing to adapt to help Josee when he finally realized that even she has goals she wants to achieve. Now in the beginning he was only helping her because of his financial problems, but after Josee's grandma passes away and she isn't able to pay him anymore, he still wants to help her because he knows that it's just a small price to pay for him to make Josee's life 100 times better. So even though he finds her annoying, he gets to know her and tries to make her life better with the time he has left before going to Mexico. I honestly feel like there were no bad characters in this movie. I like every character and everyone has a reason for everything that they do. Even though Hayato wasn't always in the shot, I still found myself enjoying the movie every time something happened with him. The characters I mainly want to focus on is Josee and Tsuno. So let's start off with Josee. Now Josee has a great character development. From being only at her house to open herself up to the whole world with the help of Tsuno was an amazing experience. From being a real pain in the ass and troublesome to Tsuno, to writing an amazing story about the two of them only to help Tsuno feel happy and to believe in himself again. And you really like her at the end of the movie. And how she deals with her disability and her wheelchair was really opening to see. Because even though it made her life 10 times harder, she didn't really seem too bothered about it. I myself have a leg illness which makes it so that I can do everything that other people can. Luckily I've never been forced to be in a wheelchair, so I'm not saying that I understand how hard it is for Josee, but I would say that I kinda can relate. Now our next character is Tsuno. It's because of Tsuno that Josee could develop so much more and become a different person. He decided to stick with her and help her out the best he could. And when he heard that she wanted to go to the ocean, he was really pumped. And I'm so happy to see that they ended up together and that he was there for Josee. But that's not to say that he hadn't a good character development. He was the same almost the whole movie, but something changed it. And it's of course after he got hit by the car and got into the hospital, and was told that he might not be able to walk and sprint as he used to. Tsuno took it of course really deep, because it meant that he wasn't going to be able to fulfill his dream and study aboard. And I know that if one of my dreams were to shatter into pieces, I would be really sad and it would have a huge negative effect on me. Because all of the work you have put into it is now worthless. But that's not what matters. What matters is what you do after. Because after he saw Josee's story she made about them, everything changed. He now knew that he had to work harder to achieving his dreams, even though he knew there was a chance that that dream was never going to happen. So in the end, they both helped each other out when they were at their lowest points. And to have someone like that in their life is truly special. Overall, this series is amazing. It had me tearing up at times and made me really feel the characters. I would honestly suggest anyone to watch this movie, and if you have watched it, please tell me what you thought about it, because I would love to hear your opinion about it. And if you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and I will hopefully see you in my next video.